5 young people have died and 3 others have been injured in a road crash near Dundalk in County Louth. The 3 men and 2 women who died were all under the age of 25 and were from Louth, Meath, Monaghan and Scotland. Gardai described the incident as shocking and devastating, saying it will have a deep impact on the families and communities involved.
These are the 5 young people whose lives were cut short in what's been described as an unimaginable tragedy. 23-year-old Chloe McGee, a secondary school teacher from Carrickmacross in County Monaghan. 23-year-old Alan McCluskey from Drumconrath in County Meath. 23-year-old Dylan Commons from Ardee in County Louth. 21-year-old Shay Duffy from Carrickmacross. And 21-year-old Chloe Hipson from Lanarkshire in Scotland. They died when the Volkswagen car they were travelling in was in collision with the Toyota Land Cruiser SUV on the Ardee Road at Gibbstown in Dundalk at around 9 o'clock last night while they were on their way to socialise.
This tragedy, with the loss of 5 young adults, will have a deep impact on families and local communities in Carrickmacross, Drumconrath and in Scotland. This is a shocking, devastating event for these families, their communities and the community here in Dundalk.
A man in his 20s who was travelling in the car and the man and woman who were in the SUV were taken to hospital to be treated for injuries described as not life-threatening. Gardai say the scene of the crash was an extremely difficult one for the emergency services who attended.
The events that occurred here last night, again, are a very, very clear reminder to us of how things can change dramatically on our roads in a split second, and the tragedy that brings to families, to communities and to loved ones. As we stand here today, 157 people have lost their lives on Irish roads so far this year in 2025. That is a slight increase, unfortunately, on the number that lost their lives on our roads in 2024.
A Garda investigation into the cause of the crash is now underway, and they're appealing to anyone who witnessed the incident or who has dashcam footage from around the time of the crash to contact them. A post-mortem examination on the bodies of the 5 young people will take place in the coming days. Samantha Library, RTE News, Dundalk in County Louth.
President Catherine Connolly has said she's deeply saddened and shocked by the loss of the 5 young lives. An Taoiseach, Taoiseach and opposition leaders have also expressed their shock and sadness at news of today's tragedy, which has left several communities numb with grief.
A candle lit in the staff room of O'Fee College in Dundalk in memory of 23-year-old Chloe McGee from Carrickmacross in County Monaghan. She had worked as a woodwork teacher here for 3 years and recently got a full-time contract. The school community devastated by her loss.
Chloe was a valued member of our staff and an extremely energetic, dynamic, positive person, and someone who enjoyed life and gave absolutely everything she had to her job, to her educational community and to her students. And this educational community of O'Fee is devastated today and will be for a long time to come.
In the village of Drumconrath in County Meath, the community here is coming to terms with the loss of 23-year-old Alan McCluskey and his friend, 23-year-old Dylan Commons from nearby Ardee in County Louth.
They were active in the community and they were working locally. The 2 businesses, 2 local businesses, one involved in fencing and the other in car repairs. So they had a close contact with the community, and people that will have a devastating effect on a small rural community here.
21-year-olds Shay Duffy from Carrickmacross and Chloe Hipson from Scotland were also among the 5 young people who lost their lives in this crash in Dundalk.
It's going to have an absolutely devastating impact, not only in relation to their families, but the wider community. Now, I have absolutely no doubt that the wider community, whether we're talking about County Louth, County Monaghan or Meath, will come together. We know that people in Ireland are very good at times like this. I've already realised that some of this is already happening.
This tragedy has sent shockwaves across the northeast, but the magnitude of the loss has been felt nationwide. President Catherine Connolly said she was deeply saddened and shocked by the loss of 5 precious lives, and she was thinking of them, their families and those injured. An Taoiseach Micheál Martin also said he was numbed and shocked by the horrific crash and acknowledged the work of the first responders. Now, just 24 hours on, the impact is still sinking in.
And Laura joins us now from close to the scene outside Dundalk. And I'm sure the impact is just sinking in of this horrendous loss of so many young lives. Laura, what's the latest you have from the scene for us tonight?
Yes, Ray. Well, this evening, Gardai have given an update on what's been happening here, and they've said that forensic collision investigators have carried out an examination of the RD road here in Dundalk, but that work is going to continue tomorrow, and so local diversions are going to remain in place in order to allow that to happen. Now, the state pathologist, Dr. Linda Mulligan, attended the scene here earlier today, and just after 6 o'clock this evening, a decision was made to remove the 2 vehicles that were involved in this collision from the scene, and they have been taken to a secure location where it's understood further examinations will be carried out. Now, the remains of the 5 young people who died in this crash are going to be taken to the morgue at Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital in Drogheda, where post-mortem examinations are to take place over the coming days. And Gardaí have said that the families of each of these young people have been updated on this investigation, and they are continuing to appeal for witnesses. Now, as you've been hearing this evening, the reality of what happened here last night is starting to hit, especially now as we see the faces and hear the names of these young people. We learn more about them and where they come from. So this really has been a very dark day here in many parts of the northeast, and sadly there are more dark days to come for the family, friends and loved ones of these 3 young men and 2 young women who lost their lives here last night, and their communities here in the northeast and further afield will be rallying around them to support them in these toughest of days.
Yes, I'm sure they will. Laura, thank you.